But my question is, and I think we've been talking about it over and over and over again from a hip hop perspective. Why why is there so much trouble going on in hip hop? What's happening within hip hop that there's all these legal issues
And death.
and death and just salaciousness and just issues and legal battles left and right, people going to jail, people getting out of jail, people wanted for murder, people dying. It's like what's happening within this culture of hip hop and this genre of music that we don't hear about. I can't say that it doesn't happen. We don't hear about in other forms of music, country, pop, rock, But we sure hear a lot about it in hip hop, though.
We talked about it before, though. There's this expectation that if you make salacious music, you have to live it. If you make gangster music, you have to like show everybody that you're about that life. So it's a race to like see who can like live it the most and get the attention of the people and get people to think that they're real. That's the whole issue. So we got to change culture. I've been saying it for years. I'm gonna keep saying it until we have a change.
What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good, B?
What up, though, man? How you doing?
Though? Hey. Good.
That's good, man.
Hey, I stepped it up today, right? How
Got
you
the
like
Wu-Tang.
it? How you liking the Wu sweater?
Hey, man, it's appropriate. We in the holiday season. You got the Wu-Tang Christmas sweater.
Got the Wu-Tang Christmas
That's
sweater,
what's up,
baby.
man.
Hey, I had to
Wu
step it up.
is forever, baby.
Wu is for the children.
For the children.
I'm trying to figure out still how they for the children, though. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Because, man, it gives the kids something to look up to for the kids that, I wasn't saying for the ghetto kids, but I guess for all the kids, but for the kids who looking for a way out, for outlets, right. Man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. ODB said it, so
ODB said it.
You gotta just roll with it, man.
And it's, I can't ask him, of course. Like,
we could probably ask somebody close to him
for sure. But Wu-Tang is for the children.
Yeah, man.
And that's been their slogan ever since it's been said. So I had to bust out the Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Y'all know.
It's
y'all
funny.
Knows.
It's funny. We talked about Wu-Tang on the podcast a few weeks ago, and literally, I got like an hour drive home. I listened to Cuban Links on the way home, which I think is the best album. No. What I did was I did a mashup. I listened to my favorite songs from 36 Chambers, then my favorite songs from Purple Tape right afterwards.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite two projects from the Wu.
Yeah, me too. Which is why they sitting up there. And my other, of course, is Method Man, his first album.
Speaking of Wu and Method Man, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But Method Man got a dope verse on the new Snoop album.
Oh, I've still got to check out the new. I got to take this earring out. I still got to listen to Missionary.
Missionary is pretty good, man. I did a reaction video on my YouTube page, and it's a pretty good album. And actually today, well, I don't know if it happened today, but sometime between like Saturday and today, they put out a version of the album with the album and then all the instrumentals after it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, because they know people going to want the instrumentals. That's what's up.
Shout out to Focus. I've been meaning to send him a DM. I'm probably going to do it when I leave today. I've been meaning just to congratulate him because him and Dr. Dre mixed the whole album. And let me tell you, man, the post-production, the mixing is so good, man.
I can't wait to hear it. I bet it is.
I had one of my homies, man. If you see this, you might see this. I'm not going to say who it is. One of my homies, like, retweeted something or rethreaded something on Threads about, like, complaining about the high-end frequencies on the album. So they tell Dre to stop doing them high-end frequencies. I'm like, no, that's why it's so crispy, you know? And I was explaining to my daughter today about mixing and low-end frequencies and high-end frequencies. And it's perfect because the bottom is still there. The songs knock like crazy, but it's so crispy, you know?
Yeah.
The mixing is just excellent, man. I want to just commend Dr. Dre and Focus on mixing that album, man. Is really, really dope. Same thing with the Compton album. The Compton album was mixed really, really well. And I think, to me, if you ask anybody the perfect like hip hop mix, play Compton and play Missionary. You know, that's the standard I'm going to hold all my mixes to. is that standard because the mix is so clean on the Missionary album, and it's a dope album too.
It's a dope album.
It,
Compton is
it's very. We're talking about Missionary now,
Missionary is dope. Yeah.
but it's very different from
Well,
Doggy Style.
I can't say it's dope yet. Let me say that. Let me go back and
No, it's
retort
dope,
that.
man. It's dope.
I haven't heard it yet, so
It's dope. You can't compare it to Doggy. It's way. But
different.
but like I said, it's
Well, you said in your review that it was different than Doggy Style.
And that's to be expected. These guys are in their 50s, almost 60 years old, so it's not going to be.
They ain't got them leg muscles like they used to, so they can't be.
No, but it's you're a different person. You know?
They gotta be.
Snoop said he had 12 grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So like, how you going you're not going to be the same. You know?
Yeah.
So it's dope. It's just in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
It's more mature, more polished. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a dope project, man. And Method Man had a verse on there.
I bet he tore it up too. I can't wait to hear it.
He tore it up, man. He tore the verse up, man.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? I got that beat in my head.
I'm sure. You know what I'm listening to right now?
What's that?
You already know. You know what I'm listening to right now. What am I listening to right now, B? What we talked about? We've been talking about
GNX.
GNX.
It's about time, man.
I'm finally listening to GNX, and TV Off is dope. TV Off is Man in the Garden is dope.
Oh yeah, I deserve it all.
Yeah, Man in the Garden is dope, and Luther. What took me by surprise was Luther.
Oh yeah.
That's so you can tell I'm listening to it. What took with him and SZA. That took me by surprise. I was like, it's something, if this world was mine. I'm like, wait, first of all, you messing with one of the greatest singers
ever.
For and you're gonna try to use it. And then they did it, and I was like, that was dope.
They pulled it off.
Amazingly.
SZA and Kendrick, SZA's on that album twice. And I go back to the All the Stars from the Black Panther soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
SZA and Kendrick got a nice little chemistry.
They got a little chemistry going on.
We need like a little EP, a little, something like that.
Yeah, but Luther caught me by surprise.
Oh, yeah?
When I heard that, was like, there's a couple of joints on there. I'm like, I don't know. And the reason why, I know this ain't a review of the album, right? I mean, we're about to get into the podcast, but, the reason why I don't know is because the songs, here's when I'm listening to at this moment, it's the simplicity of the music. Like it's super simple. Some of the beats are just really simple beats, and they're so simple that it almost in the beginning made me think that a beginner made it. That's how it almost. If I didn't know any better, I would go, a beginner producer made this beat, because he's still trying to figure out what sounds he wants to use and how to what patterns and melodies and.
I mean, Mustard is kind of. And this is a compliment, but he's a simple producer anyway.
Simple, and that's.
And I think that sometimes they don't take all of that.
Nah, and the beats.
Sometimes they don't take.
They breathe.
And it's just, to me, as the young people say, it's like a vibe album. Like it's just, and he talking that stuff on the album. He talking that talk on there. So it's like, listen to what he's saying, and he vibing out. So I don't got no problem.
The space. No, I don't have a problem with it. He left a lot of. I would say he left a lot of space for Kendrick to do his thing. I mean, the voice is an instrument, right? So Kendrick is doing his thing, but yeah. And so something else this week, which is of course not a topic, but I got my billboard today.
Okay.
This ain't a advertisement or advertisement, wherever you're from, right? Of billboard. But the reason why, I'm a Grammy member, but the reason why I got this today, well, because they send you one of these every year, but it's because on page 155, hold on, let me get to page 155. Bam, there it is. There it is. Boom. I don't know if y'all can see that. My man Matt B's on there. He's up for the Grammy Matt, what you up for the Grammy for? Best Global Music Album. And it's like, that's what's so really cool about this is somebody I know. Like, and y'all, here's the testament to this thing right here. My guy's 100% independent.
That's dope.
100% independent. So can an independent artist do it? Absolutely, because Matt is he is a testament to. That's
dope.
To it. So he was first Grammy nominated, and now he's up for it. Well, he's Grammy nominated again, but they didn't win, so he was just Grammy nominated. So hopefully he win, and then he's Grammy Award winning, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping. But he's 100% independent. That's the beauty of it. So independence, can you do it? Can you do it? Yes, you can. That's like a. I don't know. I'm just hyped today because I
That's
saw
dope,
that.
man.
I was like, let's go.
That's dope.
Let's
I mean,
go.
I always say, like, in terms of like being hopeful and having ambition, when you see people do stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know it's possible. So if somebody else can do it, you should rejoice because you know that it's possible. So, get with it. You know what I'm saying? Get with the program.
Get with the program. 100% independent. And
No,
man,
that's
so
dope.
okay, so we got some stuff. So speaking of independent, you get a chance to watch Rhythm and Flow?
I did, man. I watched the whole thing.
What'd you think about
But
it?
let me say this too, though, because
Let's talk about
I'm
it.
a TV guy, man. Like, and I'm big on. Sometimes, like when I watch Power and BMF and all that, I don't even go on social media, particularly like Twitter or X, because I don't want no spoilers.
You want spoilers?
So let me just tell everybody at home, like, if you hadn't watched it yet, you might want to skip a little bit ahead because we're about to talk about it, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody did.
Hey, my bad. My bad.
It's funny. I'm watching it. Like I know who already won because my boy spoiled it for me. So I know who won the thing already. You know what I'm saying? But
somebody else said that to me too.
But I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the first season. You know?
I enjoyed the first season,
and I didn't think I would enjoy this season as much because it, contrary to what people believe, it really hadn't been talked about that much. Like it's not a lot of talk about this season.
It's a lot of talk now, but there wasn't a lot of talk. Oh no,
it's not a lot of talk about it. That's what I was trying to tell you last week. Nobody's really talking about it. So like that's why I didn't want to spoil it because ain't nobody saying this season.
Like a lot of people talking about it from like a national level.
Nobody nowhere talking about it, brother. I'm just saying nobody talking about it, and that's why I don't want to spoil it because it is a good. Because once you start watching, okay, I love season one. You know, I love season one, and immediately I was hooked. And it's funny because I was so busy last week I couldn't watch it, so I didn't start. I started like yesterday, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and finished it a couple hours ago. So I literally went through it, man. I had my daughter watching it with me, man, and I enjoyed it though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, spoiler alert for y'all who for fast forward, or if you don't care, you about to spoil it. So I watched it. Right. I enjoyed it. It was good. Shout out to Khaled, T.I.,
Lotto.
Not T.I. Not T.I.
No.
First
Luda.
Khaled, Luda, Lotto, Big Sean was on there. Busta Rhymes, Eminem in Detroit. Oh my gosh,
Remy Ma was on there.
Rem was on there.
Rem was on there.
Yeah, Tough Judge. Who else is on there?
Rem is a tough judge.
Glorilla was on there as well.
Your boy,
Denon Porter was on there. Yes, he was. I got sent him a message too.
That's right.
Shouting him out. Yeah. It was the Detroit episode was cool though. It was a cool thing to see my city in, and Eminem coming outside. Because people say Eminem don't come outside, but he actually do come outside.
He came outside.
He
came outside for it. So
I thought it was dope.
Yeah. The show was dope. The show was absolutely dope.
And I didn't have no problem with like who won either. I didn't have no problem.
Yeah. With it. Like, hey, here's what I would say about who. The person who won. I mean, I ain't gonna tell y'all who won in case you're trying to see it.
If you want to,
if you want to see
it, I told
them
to skip ahead.
You can skip ahead all you want to. So DreTL is the winner of season 2, Rhythm and Flow. And I'm just gonna, from my research, I don't want to give my own personal opinion about any of it. From what I've been hearing, as far as the entirety of the show versus who won and who didn't win, a lot of people. Not my opinion. I want to make sure y'all understand this, right? Trust me, if y'all ask me my opinion, I'm gonna give it to you. But opinions of people feel that the show was stolen from
who?
Just people.
Call some name. Who? Because
not important people.
I can't
say important
people.
Anybody
who objectively knows music would tell you, like, you could have picked really out of the 5. You could have picked
almost any one of them.
Just pretty much,
and they pretty much probably would have been. But I think people said it because of what has been said about, and so people feel that it was stolen. And when I say people, I mean people on YouTube.
Stolen.
They in comments and all types of stuff.
Again, the internet is not the real world, y'all. It's not the real world. It's just not.
So they felt it was stolen. But so I had a conversation with a person. I'm not going to name the person. Period. But I had a conversation with a person, and this particular individual made a very interesting comment. And this person said that he showed up just like everybody else, authentic, did his job, performed, came out, did his thing, right? Regardless how we may feel about it, You may have your personal feelings about it. I may have my personal feelings about it, but the whole point of that I wanted to talk about when it came to shows like Rhythm and Flow is, do these types of shows really, from an independent perspective? I mean, because they're all independent artists who go onto these shows, right? So, is this a show that really caters to? Matter of fact, I'll just read the question because I don't want to try to formulate it the way that I wrote it. But the question is: do you think music competition shows are truly designed to find the best talent, or are they more about creating an engaging story for viewers? I mean, because well, I'll let you answer that.
Well, I mean, obviously these shows are produced. Obviously, they're produced.
Right.
They do so. Obviously, of course, they're gonna.
They got
have
to,
some-
right?
But here's the thing, though. Like, I can't verify this. Can't say for sure, but I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that this is how it goes. Like these people who are on the show, even the contestants, aren't just anybody who wants to apply. They scout out.
You scouted out.
They scout out people
Yes,
to
sir.
be on the show.
Yes, sir.
So
I'm sure.
you already have to be doing something.
I can actually verify it.
Well,
but I'm not gonna
they pretty
say how.
they pretty much verified it. They pretty much verified it when the young lady from Flint, what's her name, Yoshi, I believe. I don't want to say the wrong name, but the girl from Flint,
Yep.
when she stormed out, when she lost, which I'm like, girl, you made the top 7. Like, it's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go home. Like, what you throwing a fit for?
She don't want to be the one to go home, though.
And you already got like a lot of attention on you. You're gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? You should rejoice, be happy. But anyway, the producers were talking to her, and you can hear the little mumbles. And I had that little Netflix thing set on subtitles, but I forgot. I couldn't take it off. The lady literally told her, "We scouted you out. We researched and we found you." They literally told her that. Like, we scoured and we looked. I'm paraphrasing. They literally said, "We literally looked for you and we scoured you and we picked you because you were." So it's like that confirmed, but I pretty much already knew that these people, because they all ended up in Atlanta for the tryouts from LA, Detroit, Nebraska. So
all these places.
So obviously you had to be doing something to get somebody's attention, or submit it somewhere, and they looked you over and said, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna you got potential, so we're gonna bring you to try out." So these aren't.
It's not an application.
These aren't like American Idol. Anybody come? Hey, we're gonna be in your town on the 25th. Everybody come. I'm not sure how season 1 went, but season 2, they definitely scouted you out.
They definitely scouted you
ahead of time.
Yeah.
So having said that, to me as an independent artist, you got to be, doing something anyway. So I mean, if you're an independent artist, like, it's a good opportunity because you already proven that you got some motion, got some traction, got some potential, and now you got a chance to be exposed on a larger stage. Yeah. So nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, right? Is that it's the fact that I can't confirm that they're scouted. I'm not going to say how.
Like I said, the lady said it on the show.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying from a personal perspective, I know that they're scouted. I had a conversation with someone. Once again, that's the thing about confidentiality, right?
No,
not disclosing it.
I'm just saying.
I can confirm that, they do.
My point is, it don't take like a.
No, you can't audition.
You don't need Woj bomb for like the NBA. You don't need a breaking Woj news to know that, like,
that's right.
They scouted them out. But so, of course, it's produced.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it's not a bad thing. I think that all the contestants have something going on, have some motion.
All the contestants have, and that's the beauty of it, right? Is because from an independent perspective, when you are looking for eyes to be on you, you have to be delivering something. You have to be doing something. You have to be providing at least some type of high quality product consistently over time so that people can be looking for it. You can't just drop one song like, hey, I just made, or drop an album, be like, hey, that's all I got for it. No, you got to be actively working, marketing, creating content, doing all these different things so that these eyes can be on you. So when Rhythm and Flow season 3 does happen, they can go, yo, we want Brian Onrea on the show because we've seen the work that he's been putting in. And so now
or somebody, may have, because I don't, maybe somebody say, hey, Rhythm and Flow looking for people. Go ahead and send your stuff to this person. Whatever it is, you got to have something going on.
You got to have something going on.
Something going on.
That's
Like the
right.
one girl, it was a lady from Kansas City who didn't make it past, I think, the second round, but she was like, you could tell she had some motion going in her city.
Mhm.
In her Kansas City, she was making some moves. She was like a Vietnamese girl making some moves. You know, one guy from North Miami had a little something going on, you know, and I think he made it past the first round, but not past that. But I ain't had no problem with.
So here's the other part that I think that was good for this as well. I mean, because 2 weeks ago we had Derek on here, right? And Derek Prez Jackson is the CEO of NCEG, National Collegiate Entertainments Group. Currently ran out of Georgia State, and they have multiple different campuses that are part of their organization. He knew. I'm saying, Derek, and you see this, he knew the night he was sitting here that DreTL had already won. He was like, man, I was trying to not say it that he had won. He said, but when you saw the announcement, and he was like, I just had to not say it. But NCEG is an organization that does artist development, right? And so DreTL has spent 2 years, maybe a little longer than 2 years, with that organization, going through their program, learning all of those different things in order to be a developed artist, which, you know, Derek and them call them certified entertainers. And so they go through that process. And what I didn't know is that there's another lady, Amadi J. I don't know if you know Amadi J or not, but she does artist development. And so she works with a lot of the artists at NCEG, which I thought was dope because I happened to see her at the watch party for the reveal of who the winner was going to be. But that, for me, is a testament to why development as an artist is so important. Now, you can tell all those other artists, everybody who was there, especially when they got to the final 7, right? I would say even 8 are artists who had already been doing something at a certain level, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was DreTL, whether it was J Taj, whether it was Tia P, whether it was Detroit Diamond, whoever, you can tell they have been doing something at a certain level of developmental stage that it showed when they came out and did, you know, those songs. I could immediately tell it when J Taj came out and he did the song with Lucky Day.
Yeah.
And the way he did that song, and like his stage, he just oozed stage presence. That was like,
he's smooth.
He was smooth with it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think independent artists, part of the message is you got to take time to really perfect especially if you're going to be doing live shows, right? You got to develop that as a craft, as part of your repertoire, I guess, as an artist. I mean, if you hope to perform, you got to have performing etiquette, I guess. Not sure that's the right word that it's called, but you got to know how to perform.
That's why I think the show is really dope, because they made him perform so many times. And it's like, it's one thing to
That's right.
get in the studio and be produced and be, you know, get some imperfections fixed, but it's something else to actually go and perform it. And for the most part, like, they had to rap the lyrics, not rap over it. They had some TV tracks with little background vocals. But even then, though, I think Detroit Diamond and the girl from New York, Brooklyn, Suri, I believe.
Yeah, Suri
Ali.
Yeah.
They both relied a little bit too much on the background vocals, and they were penalized for it when they were judged. You know what I'm saying? So like they had to. And it's funny because I see Lotto up there. I'm like, Lotto, I think you rap over tracks. So it's like, let me see you do
rap
that.
over your tracks.
And Glorilla, when Glorilla was criticizing Detroit Diamond for like not hearing her words, I'm like, Glorilla, you rap over words.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
So like,
yeah, you can't be the hottest female rapper, and do that.
But I will say I liked how they like. That's why they had no problem with DreTL winning, because DreTL, like, you know, he performed all that, you know. Whereas, because he reminded me of like of an Atlanta rapper, a hot new Atlanta rapper.
Yeah, I mean, he's from Atlanta,
and a lot of them rap over tracks and perform horribly.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if he can come out and represent, and I hope he stays with that. I hope he like doesn't blow up and like start watering down his artistry, because he got the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I hope I hope he continues to like perform how he performed throughout the show. That's why I have no problem with him winning, because obviously
So let me dig a little deeper, and not to get into the whole DreTL thing, but why do you not have a problem with him winning? What were some of the things that you saw? And I'm not saying I have a problem with him or not. If you ask me, I'll tell you, my opinion. But what were some of the things that you saw? Because I got a question I want to ask that probably is in relation to what you may say.
He was dope. He was dope. He had clever wordplay, good stage presence. You know what I'm saying? He was young.
He
You know
was
what I'm saying?
young.
The youth, you gotta
He
like
probably was one of the youngest out of the.
you gotta give him points for that. You know, he's 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Stage presence, got a good aura about him. Like I said, he was saying clever things
Mhm.
in his songs, and I think he did good, And even I had my daughter, my teenage daughter's my A&R, you know what I'm saying? We talk music all the
Mhm.
time. She's like my bridge to and literally we had to pick at the end, like pick one, And she picked him. He's like, I picked DreTL. We all agreed that either you said DreTL, J Taj, or maybe even Detroit Diamond.
Mhm.
Probably the three that could have won, or even Jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Jazz probably. I think those
Yeah.
four you couldn't really go wrong. Go wrong. But I would have leaned towards DreTL, J Taj, and maybe Detroit Diamond.
Okay. So here's why I asked that. Because in my research, watching the show, and then in my research of people's thought processes around or opinions around the finale, right? Some people loved it, some people didn't. Some people thought it was stolen. Some people thought DreTL deserved it. Some people didn't think he deserved it, right? So it's a whole bunch of stuff that's sitting out there. And then I read a comment that somebody said, and they said, because I can see it both ways. Because one of the comments stated that DreTL won because he showed the most growth from everyone else, right? So they say he showed the most growth and the most potential from all of the contestants on there. Then the flip side of it, somebody responded and was like, but it's a competition. So, and it's like our competitions, and this is just for independence, period. Because when you go to a competition, right? Let's go say you go to a competition has certain requirements, certain rules, certain things that you have to meet in order to fulfill the requirements. I mean, because you tally things, right? I mean, I went out and judged what I didn't know I was going to judge, but I ended up judging one of NCEG's competitions that they had. And we had a document that we used and we judged them. Now, of course, judging is subjective because you use a star rating system or whatever number system, your numeric system you're using, but it's subjective, right? And so you go, well, the quality of the song. I cannot think it's quality. You could think it's quality, and we could judge it completely different. And that's what a lot of people are saying. So it was the dichotomy of and I think that's important for independent artists is that when you go on platforms or shows like this, or even entering competitions, you should always bring your best no matter what, because you may judge one way, I may judge one way based upon how we feel about that particular artist, about the music that they deliver, or just the competition in general. Um, but that's why I wanted, because I saw those two comments and I was like, that's a very interesting dichotomy between the two, because one person is saying that he won because of growth and potential. One person said that he didn't deserve to win because it's a competition, and if it was a competition, he didn't meet the requirements.
So you think DreTL is better than so you think J Taj is better than DreTL?
Are you asking me my opinion?
Yep.
My opinion.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay, so you think he should have won?
I do.
Okay.
If you ask my opinion, right now, Derek, you see this. I mean, I'm entitled to my opinion though, but
Yeah.
from a artist perspective, and that's what I was trying to tell my wife when we watched this, is if I'm looking for the best artist that has whatever the
What is
requirements,
best? What is best?
that's
What
the
is
thing.
best?
That,
'Cause
see, that's the question.
The thing is,
That's the
the
question.
thing is, you got to think like an executive. You got to think in
that's
terms
right.
of you got to think objectively.
As an executive,
No, what I would probably like J Taj's music better personally, but I have to be objective as as a music analyst, which I am. I got to be objective
I know what you're gonna say,
and objectively say they're both equally dope in their own way.
That absolutely.
So I had no problem with either person winning.
Absolutely.
I don't think J Taj deserved it any more or any less than DreTL. I think it was a tough decision. And I think it might have came down to preference. Like I said,
That's true.
DreTL was younger. from Atlanta. You got Ludacris and
Lotto.
Lotto
That's
from
right.
Atlanta. It reminds me of that.
It was filmed in Atlanta.
It reminded me of the Detroit episode when how it was a close battle between the girl from Cincinnati and the girl from Detroit, and you got 3 judges from Detroit, and it's in Detroit, so it's like she had the home cooking in her favor, because it was a close battle.
Yep.
Same thing with this final, like
Yep.
it really come down to like preference.
Come down to preference,
and you got 2. So it's like I had no problem with how it all played out because I don't think that DreTL, so that J Ty is necessarily better
right?
than Drake. Even with the performances, again, I got my aunt, my daughter next to me. We were watching it. J Ty's was dope, but I did say like it was dope, but it's like it wasn't really turned up. It was turned up, but it's like it could have been more spectacular.
Yeah, it could have been.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas,
especially the finale.
Yeah,
where he did 3 songs in
DreTL
one.
only did 1 song.
And J Ty did 3.
Right, he did 1 song, but that 1 song, it was so.
I'm gonna tell you what got him, bro.
Because my daughter's like, even when watching, my daughter's like, she like the paper. They throwing the paper.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what.
About the cape.
I'm gonna tell you what. The phone call is what did when I saw that. When I saw that part with the phone call, and he, baby, you I don't want to give it away, y'all. But skip past this if you don't want to know. But when they did the phone call,
yeah, even when
I was like, that was it.
Even when, and it's funny how the show, all these shows are produced, by the way, y'all. The producers,
keep in mind, they're produced,
set it up for y'all to see. So they were walking us down a pathway when they were showing the behind the scenes conflict between Hitmaker and I think Theron was there as well, and they're all arguing about where the phone call should go. And I was with DreTL, like put it in the middle. They're like, no, it's gonna turn. I'm like, no, it's like no, it's gonna like no, put it in the middle. I said
the same thing.
They were trying to put it at the beginning. And
I said the same thing.
And he stuck to his guns. I knew it was gonna work.
So that's something that's also interesting, and I think important for independent artists to think about, right? Because he knew his craft. He knew his music and how he wanted it to communicate it to others. Now, people like Hitmaker and Tehran, and they may not know. They know based upon their own experience and what they've been able to do at the levels they've been able to do it. But it was something about, and I think that's the thing, sticking to your guns, right? Because sometimes you're going to have people who may disagree.
No, but it's a balance, though, because
it is a balance.
Detroit Diamond worked against her because Bangladesh
she did.
Wasn't really feeling the first part.
Bangladesh came up with a banger, though.
But that second part was what really got it, and she didn't even want to add that. Bangladesh would add that.
And they all said the second part they wanted to hear that more than that.
So what I'm saying is, like, in that case, she stuck to her guns. It didn't work in her favor. Whereas, so it's like it's a balance. You gotta know.
That's what I mean. I guess that's what. Let me clarify. Stick to your guns. Don't capitulate. Don't just give in and say, okay, we'll just do it the way you want to do it. But say, hey, I have some thoughts about how I want to do it too. And DreTL said it. He was like, and his speech at the end was, finding that balance between, the two, what Hitmaker wanted and what I wanted to do, and how we can. He was like, and I hope I accomplished that, through what he was doing in his performance. But
here's what I would say though: is it's okay to stick to your guns. Just be okay with the result. Just be okay with it.
You gotta be okay with it.
And it's like you stick to your guns. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it won't work.
Yep.
But you got to be able to go to sleep at night knowing that, okay,
that's right.
I stuck to my guns.
That's right.
Maybe Bangladesh was right. I should have leaned more into what he was trying to say instead of what I was trying to do. Okay, fine. Or DreTL, hey, I'm glad I stuck to my guns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So I think that, like, being your own man, being your own woman, it pays. But sometimes, it don't. But you gotta be able to live with the result. Because sometimes when you are independent, making your own moves, sometimes. But I would rather go to sleep at night knowing that I'll win or lost by what I wanted to do, rather than win or lost by somebody else's hands.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. So,
but no, I thought the show was good, man. I thought the show was good. Obviously it's all produced though.
It's all produced.
I thought it was crazy how they went from was it 22 to 14, and then automatically a simple rap battle cut them in half.
Gone.
And a lot of those battles were close. Most of them were close, actually. And it's like, you caught me on a bad day, a bad night, and I got to go home. Or the wrong matchup.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, some of them battles were tough.
Yeah.
Some of them battles, they were eating each other alive. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So,
But all in all, the reason why I wanted to talk about it was not so much about the winner. It was so much about the opportunity that comes with it and what independent artists need to be doing in order to have that same type of exposure, I guess, that eyes are looking at them. What can they continuously do if a platform like that does come and scout them to be on that particular, to be on that show?
What I would
Right.
say is you got to look at yourself as a professional and not an amateur.
100%.
So in general, I always think I avoid competitions, talent shows. Like if you, I'm a pro, man. I'm not doing no amateur stuff. I'm gonna build my own fan base. However, something like this, though, if you look at it from a different perspective, look at it from an opportunity to grow your own fan base as a professional. I'm gonna go on this show as if I'm an amateur, but I'm a really professional. That's what I think. And
That's
really,
right.
the smart ones, for example, Flawless from season 1. Flawless was already a pro when he started that show. You know what I'm saying? He grew and he's, you know, other than D Smoke, that's the only one I really remember from the first season. That's the only one I see that I
Because he
see.
kept it going. He was already a brand. He was already a professional. He
Yeah.
was already walking in that mindset from the very beginning.
So I think that, a lot of these rappers, man, from the show, especially a lot of the female rappers, because female rappers kind of taking over. A lot of them, man,
Sure.
should just, stick to their guns and just build themselves a brand. I know the one girl, I think the one from Cincinnati who lost, she got a deal with United Masters already, and she's doing her thing. And it's like, that's how it should be. If you look at yourself as a professional going into it, then do it. But don't go in there like, if you trying to be independent, because even quality is subjective these days.
It's subjective.
Because the mixes be crazy, artwork be
And people be loving them.
You are a professional the minute you say you're a professional, in my opinion, and carry yourself like one. You're not no amateur. I'm not entering no competition.
But that's the thing. It's like, what does professionalism mean? Just like you asked me, what is the best talent or best artist? How do we define professionalism?
I think it's a mentality.
So that everybody can operate at that level.
I think it's a mentality. I'm a business. I'm gonna get a business license. I'm gonna get an email list. I'm gonna open a Shopify page. I'm gonna sell a product. I'm gonna put product out.
Matter of fact, the store is. That's not it's not an advertisement.
Go
right?
ahead, man.
But the store, like this, you see the merch. We
quick
got
commercial.
Look, we got a quick commercial. Y'all see the brand. You know what I mean? Y'all see the Indie Unplugged shirts and hats and stuff that we got. Go on over to the website. Click on the link. Take you to the store. You can get some merch. But I'm glad you mentioned that. Like I want to talk about merch. Get the merch, people.
Because when it comes to podcasts, we're professionals.
We're professionals. We don't do this amateurly.
I'm a professional podcaster.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the best at what I do.
Yes, sir.
No better podcaster out there than me. Nobody better.
He's like, nobody.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Look, even though I'm sitting here, look, let me tell you what.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if you don't feel like that, I don't know what to tell you.
You gotta feel like that.
I don't know
That's
what
the
to
thing.
tell you.
You gotta feel that.
But
way.
I back it up though. I back it up. You know what I'm saying? I do this
That's
pod,
right.
I do my own pod. You know what I'm saying? Pod with my brother Willpower, and I'll pod tomorrow. I go home and pod if I need to.
Like, do you pod?
So I'm a pro at this, man.
I'm gonna start asking, do you pod?
So my point is, it's about a mentality. So if you go on these shows with that mentality, go ahead and do it because you can grow your brand. But don't go on like hoping that you could get rescued and get saved.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
You know what I'm saying? No, because that's an amateur. You're not an amateur. You're a pro. And I think that people like Jay Taj had that mentality because he was polished. Especially
he was super clean.
Especially when they showed his setup at home, all them keyboard, like, oh yeah, he know.
Yeah, my man, he polished. He know exactly.
He knew what he was doing. Even when he went in there with Street Runner, he was trying. He had his own beats and stuff. It's like, okay,
yeah, he's already operating at that level.
This dude knows what he's doing. Yeah. So be a professional. Don't be an amateur. Even when you go on these contests and shows.
I agree with that. All right, let's talk about the next thing. So I was watching. Is it a title for the show? I just think it's Apple Music. I'm not sure what the right title is though. But it's Ebro's on there.
It has a name. I forgot the title. It has a name.
What's the real name of this thing?
I forgot the name of it.
I can't remember the name of this. But I was watching the episode the other day, and Ebro made an interesting comment about the hip hop perspective, the hip hop narrative, and how mainstream doesn't want positive narratives in hip hop. It's like, because I think the comment he made, he was like, they want just, he's used the word salaciousness.
Yeah.
And, they want, salaciousness and murder and popping bottles and hoes and drinking and all these other murder and he kept mentioning it's like he said and when you try to introduce it, they fight against it because that's not what they really want. And he said, and they don't really want that from black people. He said, so they don't want that from hip hop. He said, so they fight against it. And as I was watching, I was thinking like, is that true? That mainstream hip hop rejects, or just mainstream in general, they just reject positive hip hop narratives. And then you think about it, is that why I'm not gonna say people hate on D1, but I think a lot of people do. But is that why? Because they push positivity more than the negative stuff? Or is it? I don't know. I just thought it was a very interesting statement that he made, that Ebro made about they reject positive hip hop narratives.
I don't really like conspiracy theories, because
I'm a conspiracy theory.
yeah, but I don't. But it's fun to talk about. But in all seriousness, though, you can't really prove none of that stuff. What I do believe is the power is within the people, and I think that as long as people gravitate towards negativity and the BS and the mess and the salaciousness, as long as we gravitate towards it, major corporations will continue to promote it because they make money off of it. Just like the whole, as a kid, man, the 80s as a kid, the whole say no to drugs thing. I always thought that the way to solve drugs is just not trying to focus on the drug dealers, focus on people not using drugs. We got to, as a society, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and say, why are we attracted to the mess? Why does a post about like messiness get 1 million likes and comments, but a post about positivity doesn't get much? So we got to look at on ourselves as a people.
And that's what he said. People want the salaciousness.
Yeah. So, but instead of blaming like the corporations and they're trying to do this to us, I'm a big fan of looking within, because that may be true. It may not be true. I don't know. But what I do know is, as a people, we can do better amongst ourselves.
So you think if we as a hip hop community started to reject some of the negativity and we implemented certain types of standards around the type of, or messaging,
stop feeding into it,
and stop promoting it and stop feeding into it.
Stop feeding into it. Stop egging it on. Stop enjoying it. The guilty pleasure.
The guilty pleasure.
Some of y'all watching Zeus Network with all that mess.
What's that?
Good. If you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. If you don't know what it is, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, what's that?
Good. If you don't know what it is, don't even worry about it. It's a good thing. But trust me, watching stuff like that and, being on the shade room and feeding and all that stuff.
Especially.
So that's that's what I really focus on. Instead of trying to figure out, is there a conspiracy against us?
But how does an independent artist who has a positive message I want to say use the word infiltrate.
Easy question.
Infiltrate a community.
Easy question.
That is focused on. You keep using that word because they use it. Focused on salaciousness.
Easy question. Make your music undeniable. Make it good. If it's good, people are gonna listen to it. Make it undeniable. And of course, it's subjective, but undeniable is not subjective, in my opinion. Undeniable means you can't deny it. So it's no subjectivity to it. It's just, I gotta listen to this because it's dope. I grew up, man, with I remember DOS Effects. I use them as a perfect example.
I love DOS Effects.
I did too, but I didn't know what they were talking about.
I have no idea.
No idea. But I just knew it was banging. And that's my perfect example. Like, if it's banging, they're gonna play it on the radio, they're gonna play it in the car.
Rickety pow.
Bums getting what I didn't know what they're talking about.
Here I go, so figgity flame on. Cause they always say like figgity and diggity.
I don't know what they're talking about, man. Dun, 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 dun. But it's like,
hey, but it was dope, so dope.
Even Wu-Tang Clan, as a kid, I didn't know that 5%. I didn't know what they were talking about. I just knew it was gutter, it was raw, it was banging.
It was ruckus.
Yeah, man. I mean, I understood most of it, but some of the stuff I didn't understand though. But if it's undeniable, because see, I used to be a Christian rapper. I started off rapping Christian rap. And my thing was, my big flagship belief was that I could talk about Christ and the Lord on it. It don't matter. If I make this stuff banging enough, anybody will play it.
Anybody will play it.
Regardless of the message. If I make this stuff, and my stuff was banging, I think I was, true to real, look me up, man. I have to say so myself. And it stood, even 20 years later, my album still go hard, but my standard was make it good enough to where it don't matter what I'm talking about. it's gonna penetrate. So just make your music undeniable in the story. Now it's
Undeniable,
now that's simple, but
complex though.
sort of. But I just think that people, we love hearing ourselves and we love playing stuff in the studio in the car, but you gotta like get back to the focus groups, man. Get back to like sitting in the car and like and getting a council of people to listen to stuff and give you important feedback, you know. Because I think it's okay to have stuff you like, but you need a certain percentage of your music that's undeniable.
I don't think people really do that anymore. I don't think there's a collective body of people who are looking for the feedback and opinions of others to help shape their album so that it is undeniable.
What's it called? An echo chamber? When it's just you, your own stuff?
Yeah.
You don't want to be in an echo chamber. You want to be somewhere where you got people who will objectively tell you.
That's right.
And of
you
course,
want people
stick to your guns. You got to stick to your guns, but kind of like notice what's under. Okay, this one, everybody go crazy with this one. Come on, okay, put that on over here, and be patient. Be patient enough to write enough. Because here's the thing: I've been working on music for like a year now, right? I haven't put nothing out since like 2020 or 2021 because I'm trying to get a stack of undeniables over here. I'm not trying to just put out what I like. I want stuff to be undeniable, so I will wait the time to get enough undeniable music to put it out. Whereas people just go to studio, I like it, put it out.
But do you think that hurts an independent artist if they, let's say from an independent perspective, do you think that hurts them if they aren't consistently putting out music and then they're only putting out music every 2 years or so?
No. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Because like I've shared with you and everybody, once the train start with me, it ain't gonna stop. So, but you got to put in the work though. In order to have undeniable music, you got to do music almost every day.
Right.
You know, you got to be at this all the time to get enough quantity.
It's a discipline.
Yeah. So if you got 30, 40, 50 songs, you probably got a handful of undeniables, but you got to be consistent with it though. You can't, to your point, you should not like wait years to put out music. You shouldn't do it. That's why I'm taking my time, because once I do start, it's not going to, it's a flood till I die pretty much. So that's the point. You got to make enough music to where you can put out what's undeniable, not put out just anything. Put out what's undeniable. So if you want to penetrate the market with positive music, make your positive music undeniable from both a critical standpoint, from a melody, from a sonic standpoint. Whatever you got to do, make your music undeniable. And you can talk about Mary Had a Little Lamb. If that thing go hard, it's gonna go.
I think that's. I don't want to count anything. I think that's good in theory, right? But so let's say I'm making undeniable music, right? But how do I still get it in front of the people so that it somehow creates a groundswell? And that's the thing. Is it a collective body of individuals that, right? Because right now, when you think of mainstream artists and you think of hip hop, a lot of them are putting out salacious. I'm gonna keep using that word doing this topic, salaciousness, right? So how do I, as an independent artist, as what you're saying, create that music in order to infiltrate that upper echelon of salaciousness so that it can eventually, I'm gonna say overtake, right?
I don't think it's gonna ever overtake, because do you like Wu-Tang? That's salacious.
They talking about salaciousness on there.
So my point is that,
but Wu-Tang is for the children.
The salaciousness is always going to be there. We talk about Snoop album. Right. He's talking about the same stuff 30 years later. You know,
just a different position.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think this salaciousness is going to go away. We just need more balance to the party. And what I'm saying is, you got to make music that's dope.
Right now, I'm gonna have no balance.
You got to be stuff that's super dope that can compete with the Glorilla. You know, because look, man. I'm tired of all this twerking and all this, but Glorilla album go hard, bro. I can't even front.
I haven't heard it yet.
It's a hard album,
but I heard it go hard though.
It's go hard, man.
But does it go hard because of the production or
production
or the pen,
the features, the whole thing, man?
But I heard her pen is not her pen though. But anyway, that's a different conversation for a different time, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, Snoop Dogg getting the pen ain't his pen, no. So. Don't attack that.
Well, I don't know. So wait, so we saying Snoop not writing his own raps no more?
He ain't writing raps in years. What you talking about? He said this.
Oh yeah, DLC probably right. DLC writes a lot of stuff.
From Ego Tripping. Ego Tripping was the first time Snoop said, "I didn't write None of this.
Dang.
The whole album. And since then, I've been listening. You know, I can tell you off camera. who,
I can tell off camera who wrote it, but we can tell you right now.
No, but I mean, like, and it's no knock. It's no knock, you know.
But see, that's the thing, right? Is that in hip hop, it is a knock if you are MC. Well, I think that's a difference. That's good. Let me make sure I'm clear. I think that's a difference.
It depends on what you're going for. I think Snoop withdrew himself voluntarily from the conversation. The best MC a long time ago.
Yeah,
he withdrew himself, and we respect Snoop for Snoop. That's Snoop, man. You can't hate on Snoop.
Yeah,
look, come on, I'm wearing doggy
supply
clothing.
Hey.
So it's like, who cares, man? You know what I'm saying? Now, if Eminem would have said, if Eminem would have said he didn't write his own, or Nas would have said he didn't write it, that's gonna be a problem.
That's gonna be a problem.
Or Lil Wayne, or
because they're classified as like MCs,
or Kendrick. Yeah, but like Snoop get a pass. Snoop and Dre, man, come on.
They get a pass.
Dre is the best producer ever. He got the best writers out there, you know, on standby.
Facts.
So come on, man.
Facts.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I thought that was widely known though. Snoop don't write.
I didn't know that. I actually did not know that.
Yeah, man. And I'm not breaking news. It's verified. You know,
I'm assuming Snoop is writing.
I remember him and Nipsey did a song, and Nipsey told a story about Snoop told Nipsey to write for him. Like, write the verse for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can tell you, I'm a student. I pay attention.
Yeah, I need to see. He is the true hip hop,
but it doesn't
head.
But it don't take away like we all love.
See, I can tell you that stuff about R&B.
I will say this though, some of this stuff, like, I don't want to be critical, man. I did the same thing with 3 Stacks with the Outkast shirt on.
That's right.
Because some of the stuff that I think, like, when you write for Snoop, man, make it sound a little more like Snoop.
Like Snoop. It got to sound like Snoop.
Don't have him all doing them weird voice inflections. Some of them songs, when he was rapping like, that's not like
you. If you're going to write for somebody else, it has to be in the style, the flavor of the other person, of that person.
Let me tell you, I shouldn't say it, man. I'm already honest.
You're already on it, B.
Rhapsody and Queen Latifah got a song on Rhapsody, I think, second album. It made me so mad, man. Because she got Queen Latifah. It's obviously Rap wrote the verse because Queen Latifah is rapping exactly like Rhapsody. And it annoys me to no end. Like, if you're going to write for Queen Latifah, write something that's write it, make it sound like Queen Latifah. Don't write it sound like you.
Right.
I was so annoyed at that.
You know,
you get this dream collaboration, 2 amazing women in hip hop, and you got the Queen Latifah rapping like Rhapsody. It's obvious that Rhapsody wrote the rap for her, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're going to write for someone,
like, channel your inner Queen Latifah. How would Queen Latifah sound in 2020, whatever? How would she sound then? Let me write from that. Don't write it like my verse. Oh, I hate when people do that, man. That's my only criticism. That's my only criticism of the Compton album. Dre is rapping like he doing all them weird. Like, no, rap like, come on, give me some Dre. Yeah, give me some of that, man. Don't give me all this all this weird little.
Eminem checks ain't even open yet. MVP. You in the corner too.
I'll give you a good example of this. Eminem wrote The Watcher for Dre.
Oh, really?
Perfect example. Eminem knew the assignment for that. He knew the assignment for that album. Let me write how Dre would write.
But but Dre and Eminem have been together for so long.
Not in 2000 they went together. Not in 1999 went together for so long.
Well, when did? But yeah, because Eminem came into the picture
like 98, 99. He just met the dude. So it's like, no, don't. Even Royce wrote the message on the album. They knew the assignment. If you're gonna write for somebody,
that's a student right there. Then,
if you're gonna write for somebody, write for them properly. That's because again, to this day, we just found out Eminem wrote The Watcher. We just finding it out.
Yeah,
like, I think Warren G or somebody spilled the beans a few years ago, but it's perfect though. That was the perfect way to write for Dre.
Do you think Eminem wrote Jay-Z's verse on?
No, of course not. No.
On
Renegade.
Renegade. No,
of course not.
There's speculation that he did.
Who? I never heard that ever.
You never. Well, I'll tell you after.
Nobody never. No, Renegade was a Royce da 5'9" Eminem song, and they literally just took Royce's vocals off and put Jay. Man, no. I've never heard that theory. And come on,
that's a theory that's out there that M wrote.
Brian, I don't know where you be finding stuff, bro, but you got to stay off where them sites are. You got to stay off them sites, bro. because you got to stay off that, bro.
It's what's it called?
I've never heard
YouTube.
I've never heard anybody say that Eminem wrote Jay-Z's verses on Renegade. I've never heard that ever. Never heard that. I have heard people say that Eminem got Jay-Z, and people debate about who got the better verses on there.
Right.
I'll give Eminem a slight edge on there as far as who had the best verses on there. Bruh, whatever page it is, there's a little button on the side where you can hit do not recommend channel. Hit that immediately, bro. Hit that immediately.
Like hit that immediately. Like you're not gonna say
do not recommend channel.
It's
foolishness. Cut it out.
You're not gonna say that Eminem wrote Jay-Z's lyrics on Renegade.
Because he didn't, man. Come on, stop it. Cut it out. But who had the better verses since we did who got who on Renegade? That's the age-old debate. Who got who on Renegade?
Look. Okay. So first, AI says that.
Who got? Come on, want to know.
It said, look, right? AI, Skynet somehow says Eminem wrote verses for Jay-Z's song on Renegade. The origin is that Eminem and Royce da 5'9" originally recorded a version of Renegade, but their collaborative project Bad Meets Evil, which actually was pretty dope. Jay-Z heard the song and wanted it for his album The Blueprint, so he featured Eminem on the track. Eminem, Jay-Z, and some Louis Resto all wrote the song, and Resto also produced it. I don't know. It's AI. You can't trust AI. ChatGPT get it wrong. But anyway, to answer your question, you had the better verse on Renegade. Man. I don't want to get in trouble.
In trouble with who?
I don't know.
Who gonna fire you, Brian? Who gonna fire you?
Saying.
Who gonna fire you?
Who had the better verse to me that when I hear it, I'm just like,
who gonna shut you down? You think you're gonna lose fans? Say it with your chest.
I don't know. I think M had the better verse on there.
Yeah, I think M got him, but not by a whole lot.
Not by a whole lot.
I think M got him slightly.
I think M had the better verse. If I sit back and analyze Renegade, I think Eminem verse was better than Jay's on it. Not by much, but I think it was the more standout verse for me.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's always been. I think the problem becomes when Nas said M murdered you on your own blank, and people got kind of offended by that. So they're trying to say this narrative that actually Jay was better. No, just keep it real. M was better. And he didn't really murder him necessarily, but he
Now there are rappers who have murdered other rappers on their beats, on their actual songs.
Oh, all the time.
Right. We can get into that's a different thing, but
that'd be a nice little top 11 list. Top 11 times when rappers got murdered on their own stuff. That'd be a good one.
Right, because I'm sure there's 11 of those.
Give me one. What's the first one coming to mind for you?
Oh my gosh.
I love this hip hop kind of trivia stuff. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta think about it. I don't know. I gotta think about it too.
What was the song? Who did it? It was Big and Meth. What song did they do together?
On Big first album, Stop Looking, Listen, some position. I pissed Sonya Graves and then grabbed my Charles Dickens. That one. So you think that Meth got big on that? Okay. That's a good one.
But there are artists out there. I have to go and really listen and go back and go.
Okay. Purple Tape. Nas got Ray on the song, the classic song. Throughout the lifetime, I climb glitters and go out and go. Stamp, peace. Then the beats arise like East. Yeah, police paying me to fill in their gun. Got rid of my son, smoking gold leaf all heat. Nonchalantly, growing. She thinks it was really never haunts me now. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't remember the name.
I don't believe I'm getting the brain fart right now.
It was not Incarcerated Scarfaces, though.
No, it's the best.
That's the best song on the album.
No, well, debatable, maybe.
Incarcerated Scarfaces, baby.
But no,
I think Ghost was on there.
I don't know why.
I think Ghost got Ray on that song, but
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Okay, only with Cuban links. It's called why am I drawing a blank here? Verbal Intercourse with Nas. Yeah, Nas, and that might be the best song on the album.
I have to go back and look at it. Oh.
It might be.
What? Then Incarcerated Scarfaces? That's a tough
Verbal
one
Intercourse,
right there.
bro?
That's a tough one,
Verbal
bro.
Intercourse, bro.
Anyway, hey, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna
Yeah, so, but Nas got Ray and Ghost on that song. He
I gotta
got
go
them
back and
both.
listen. I gotta go back and listen
He
to
got them
that.
both pretty easy.
I gotta go back and listen to
on
that.
that song. But anyway, that's nice. That's the first thing I can think of off the top of my head. Who
Yeah.
got who on their own track?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
We gotta do a top 11 on that. That'll be dope.
yeah, man.
So-
I'm a nerd. I love researching this kind of stuff and like pulling it out and talking about it. That's why when we have these random situations, I might say, "Hey, B, what do you think?" Have a little side little convo real quick because I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think Eminem got Jay on Renegade, but Eminem did not write Jay's verse. Jay didn't write Jay's verse. Jay thought of it in his head. And
Jay don't write no verses. He just thinks about it and then it comes out.
And went to the booth, man. So
it just comes out.
But anyways, if you're an independent artist, man, making positive music, make it undeniable. And undeniable is subjective to a degree, but really it's not subjective. It's really like something that can't nobody deny.
Right. You hear that song, you're like, this song is
this
hands down, it's undeniable.
And you just keep feeding undeniable. And of course, to your point, when you ask how do you market it, that's a whole nother thing. I'm sure you got great material on the platform to help you market and promote. So just listen to all the material and make sure you market it. Because of course, if nobody hear about it, it can't be. They don't got a chance to not deny it because they can't hear it. So
because that is the other part. That's the other part is the marketing of the song, album, product to get into the face of the people so that they can hear it.
Fact though.
So how do you feel about it may be a reality, B? It may be.
Yeah, man.
August 19th.
I didn't think it was going to be a reality.
August 19th.
January 19th. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a reality. 19th. I didn't think it was going to be a reality.
I didn't think so either. TikTok. Adios. Like, they said, Google and Apple, you got until on January 19th, you got to remove TikTok from your stores.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done. I was hoping. I hope they would say, because here's the thing for me as an independent music artist myself, independent podcaster, just an independent man, independent brand himself. I want to take advantage of every opportunity to build my fan base and all that stuff. So being in this taken away it's kind of like hurtful because it's like, dang, one less platform, and this platform was like, big, but at the same time though, like, there's other places out here. So I think for now we gotta like start to move our people. I've been seeing folks on TikTok move folks to Instagram and Threads. They'll have like a long story. Say, okay, for the rest of the story, go to my Instagram.
Right.
They'll leave them on the.
And that's because they know now.
Yeah.
They're trying to train them. They're trying to train them to go over to the other platform so that when this platform eventually does go away, then they can already have that audience on those different platforms already.
I think if it goes away, I think it'll come back though, because I think it's too much money involved.
It's a lot of money.
Too much money involved, and I don't think that they just gonna leave that money on the table. But it's crazy because the government, man, they're essentially saying that like they don't want China to have access to all of this data from us.
Yep.
But as a U.S. government, we want to have access to all this data because Meta is a U.S. company with Facebook, Instagram. So it's okay for y'all to get all the data, and give us access to it. But China can't have a Chinese company can't have all this data.
So
because it could be
we can have it.
It could be a national security issue.
Yep.
If China gets all this data on us. So
So here's what's super interesting about this, y'all. Like, y'all gotta go in and like read and research and find out why they chose January 19th.
Okay.
Why did they choose January 19th to do this?
Because Trump gonna be in office
on January 20th. Trump officially takes office January the 20th. Trump was for the ban. Get them out of here. We don't want them, have all this data. No. How come my man got a new leaf on his viewpoints on?
Because he's president now.
On
because it didn't backfire
on TikTok.
Because it didn't backfire on him.
So he stated that he's gonna be like, oh no, I don't really want to. Why should we ban TikTok?
Yeah.
He's like talking about not banning it, and that's why they chose the date January 19th. It is the day before he actually takes office, so they want to have it done so that he then can't come back and reverse the decision.
Yeah.
That like they're gonna this is getting ready to be written in stone. That if it does come back, it'd be great for independence, but maybe not so great for the American government because now they'll a foreign
But
entity has access to
do you
data.
think it is a national security issue?
So so do I think it's a national security issue if a foreign nation has access to data on
I mean, you talking about
US
surveillance.
US citizens?
You talking about surveillance. You talk about everything.
So
Yeah.
here's my I think we live in a very hypocritical world
Okay.
because we do it,
Oh, most definitely.
but we don't want nobody else to do it.
Most definitely.
And I get it. But
because
we do it.
what about nefarious parties and people infiltrating the U.S. government
For sure.
on behalf of other nations?
No. How about sometimes the U.S. government? They about to come knocking.
I'm just saying.
Hey, they be like, I would like to speak to Double Brian, please. Deuce Brian, where they at? Yeah, I think so. Of
I'm just
course.
saying, man.
I don't put it past. I'm a conspiracy theorist anyway, so I'm always looking like I think they making connections with. It was the whole, not to get in the whole thing, but there's the whole thing that they talking about. They looking for Osama bin Laden. Remember that? We looking for him, but he over here.
Yeah.
Why? Because we trained him. He used to be part of what? Like this is all this stuff, bro. Is like, so I think I love what we have in America, but I think we're hypocritical because we don't want nobody else to do it, and I get it, but we do it to other people. They don't want us doing it, but we do. So what if
you're talking about the other nations?
Yeah. So what if Germany and China and Japan and Austria?
Well, yeah, because you think Meta isn't operating in all these places,
and what are they doing in all these places?
collecting data.
Same thing that TikTok is doing, collecting data. And that's what Trump said. Trump said something about, oh man, I need to go back to this article, bro, because he said something about Meta having the data. He absolutely said something about Meta having the data. And so he didn't want it to just be, oh man, don't let me say this without having to, the facts about exactly what it is. But he said something and I was like, ooh, like you right about that. Let me go. Where's it at? Blah 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 blah. Man, I'm trying to find that what they said that Trump said because, man, it was I was like, you right, because he does. Meta will have it all. The government is formally opposed the delay of the 25-page response. The TikTok 3 days ago submitted blah blah blah. We covered blah blah blah. Technically, the ban refers to divestment deadline by ByteDance TikTok, which is long grappled with data security, U.S. and other nations. Blah blah blah. The 90-day extension happens. TikTok wrote injunction filed Supreme Court opportunity. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Like y'all got to go read this stuff. I mean, because really this stuff actually impacts independent music creatives. Like you may go, this is who cares if TikTok is shut down? Because it impacts what you do as a music creative on these different type of platforms, not just TikTok.
Yeah,
Instagram.
Well, remember
Facebook.
Think about this though. You always got to be prepared because if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Any platform, anytime can shut you down anyway.
Anytime.
So you should always try to get your own data on your people, your supporters. Get their phone numbers, emails, addresses, whatever you can on your people in general. Have your email list, your address list, all that stuff, because you don't want to depend on, even these, think about it, even places where host your websites, they could just say, you know what, we ain't doing business with you no more. And shut your website down.
That's right.
So you just got to have stuff written. I'm a big fan of this too, Brian. Have stuff on paper. Like if you got an email list, print your email list out once a year, once every 6 months on paper. Because what if Google crashed or your computer crashed? Have it, everything. I used to work for an organization, a nonprofit, who believed in that. They had everything on the computer, but they had everything on paper as well.
Wow.
The whole list. So
Wow.
yeah, man, I'm from that school. I'm gonna have everything
Like we
written
got
down.
it's gonna be written down. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is as you stated, at any moment, at any time, all these platforms can shut down, and you have access to nothing,
So
right?
if I gotta sit down and email you manually one by one off a paper that I got, off a notebook that I got you written down in,
And that's
I'm
and
gonna
that's the
do
thing.
it.
Google could go away. You got no more email. Your website can go away. Facebook goes away. Any of
Get
these different
everything,
platforms.
get all your data and put it in a hard copy in the file somewhere.
Yep. All
Once a
these
year, do that, or once every few months.
all these platforms can shut down, and then you lose all access to all the information, all the data that you've
If I gotta
acquired
get
over
a
the
rotary
years.
phone and dial
Ah,
all my people one by one and say, "Hey,
doot, doot,
I
doot,
got a
doot,
new
doot,
album
doot.
coming out. What's your address? I'm gonna send it to you." Whatever. Like,
Right.
hey, man.
Because that's the thing is if a platform like TikTok goes down and you that was your main medium of interaction with people, what are you going to do? I mean, it has to be alternatives. There has to be other things that you're doing, not just putting all your eggs in one place like TikTok. Because if it does shut down, then you SOL, right? And so now you got to start all over. Now you got to figure out, which is why a lot of them understand that now they have to switch them from TikTok over to a different platform to keep that same viewership, followers, engagement, etc. So I was watching. Me and my wife, we took this course with this company called Mind Valley, and they were talking about social media and all that. Right? It was like a 2 day, I think, course that we watched, and they had this one guy on there, young cat, probably like 24 years old, mastered like social media, and he always used this term deplatform. And he always talked about you got to learn how to deplatform them. You got to be able to take all the people from your social media and deplatform them off of social media onto like your own newsletter or your own website or something like that where you're not relying upon. I mean, because you think about it, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook can implement a policy today that changes the entire algorithm, the entire, you know, parameters of what that platform does. And I mean, we've seen it. Oh, we're going to limit your reach.
We're gonna update the user agreement.
Yeah, we're going to update the user agreement, and we're going to limit your reach. And then who's really reading a user agreement to know exactly what's happening? Which is
Yeah.
why deplatforming them is absolutely important. Get an email list, right?
ASAP.
That is probably the most important thing. Get an email list. If you're doing shows, you should have a clipboard. Right? You know what that is, right? It's the thing that like a board with the little clip metal. Okay, get a clipboard. Something. Print out, sheets at your concerts with email slots so people can write their emails in there and collect those emails. That data now becomes yours to keep. Nobody can take it away from you. It becomes yours to keep. And it's like at any moment, Instagram can say, TikTok can be like, we out of here. Just like it's about to happen.
Yeah, and I kind of got mixed feelings about it because I'm all about national security. I'm all about that. At the same time, though, it's like TikTok is a good platform. But I will say this too, though.
It's a great platform.
Threads, and I'm saying this, but I should probably take my own advice. Threads is where it's at right now, but it won't be like that for long. What I mean is, even Threads is a
I
little.
get zero love on Threads.
Here's the thing, though. Threads is one of the only places. It's an algorithm in place there, but they haven't started with ads yet. But Instagram used to be so pure in terms of just because what I'm trying to say is all these platforms, you gotta like have a budget and pay to get engagement pretty much now. And even TikTok is like that. So it ain't like if you don't got no real budget anyway, it's hard to really like go viral. It's hard to do that anyway. So don't look at it like it's the end of the world because unless you spending like hundreds of dollars a week promoting anyway,
Yep.
it's not much happening. And
Yep.
it's unfortunate because you can have 1,000 followers, but maybe 20 might see your post when you post. And
Yep.
it's by design because they got it. Even your own timeline,
Yep.
it's hard to see. Even in this little hack, I don't know if y'all know this, but on Instagram, you can go to your page and to your timeline and hit the Instagram button, the Instagram name up there.
Mm-hmm.
You hit that. You hit following.
Yep.
It'll show you your own timeline. But even that though is filled with. It's not even.
It's filled with ads and it's filled with other.
And it's not even really everything.
Right.
Either. So, all these platforms, it's not really working in your favor like you think it is anyway.
It's not.
The good thing though is if you build a fan base, they can subscribe to you, and they can if go out of your way to see your posts.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you got to work. You have to work that. You got to work that, and you got to make them want to. You got to make them want to be in tune with you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make them want to get alerts when you post.
You got to do things that are undeniable. I'm use B's word, undeniable, so that people want to tap in with. It has to be undeniable. Not these crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Crazy, silly. My wife calls them stupid cat tricks or stupid human tricks. That's what she calls them, stupid human tricks. And so I don't know. Just be authentic to yourself.
I was gonna say whatever works for you.
But if it works for you, I guess
if the stupid human tricks is who you are. If
it's who you are.
What's the thing? Even if it works, though, if it's not who you are, it won't last. Because
right. That's why I said be authentic.
It's inauthentic. But if you are authentically like a clown or authentically like to do stuff like that, if it works, go for it.
Do it.
But
that's the thing. I've seen people who are not authentic with it, and they do those, and it comes across, and it's very gimmicky, and they get tons of followers, but it's very gimmicky because that's not how that person really is, and they're only doing it to put on a show on social media so that they can get followers and views, and that's not really who they are as an individual.
People will do anything for engagement,
and people will do anything for, which is why I mentioned you got to be authentic in the very beginning. But the bottom line for this whole thing, if TikTok does go away, because they're doing it on January 19th before Trump takes office, because he's probably going to reverse it and probably not going to want to do it, because he said, I looked it up, he said he has a warm spot in his heart for TikTok, right?
Trump's gonna go whatever works for him.
Whatever works with Trump.
If the wind blow a certain way, and if it blow in his favor, he going with the wind.
He going with the wind. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, we go this way now. Oh, we go this way.
Oh,
great.
I didn't know, guys.
I didn't know.
I didn't know TikTok was gonna work. TikTok is great. It's excellent. It's excellent. I love TikTok. I love TikTok. I love Brian and the Indie Unplugged. It's gonna be great.
Hey, shoot. Will we want Donald Trump to be a influencer?
Listen. It's great. It's great. They tried to tell me I couldn't do TikTok. I did TikTok anyway. It's the best.
But no, man.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it, man. Get your people to go over. Don't panic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But get your people to go over to other platforms, but make sure you get their data anyway.
And I think that's the most important part is get the data. If you got that, you can deplatform them and use them however you need to.
Yep.
All right. I didn't know this. I just happened to see it.
Okay.
Did you hear about this already?
What?
Before I sent it? NBA Youngboy.
Oh, you got a sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20 years.
No.
10 years.
No.
It wasn't
that long.
It was,
it's a couple years. I don't think so.
Nah, they said like, hold on, I'm finna go to this right.
No. He had like 2 years.
Now. What did he get? Let me see. I'm going to it. Oh,
yeah, he sentenced to 2 years, almost 2 years.
Yeah, 23 months, 60 months. NBA sentenced to, I don't know where I got 20 years from. NBA Youngboy sentenced to nearly 2 years in prison and 60 months probation following firearms charge, right? So he was sentenced to 23 months in federal prison. Federal prison, bro. Like, that's, and 60 months probation for possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. And of course, and here's the thing, right? You're a convicted felon. And they set rules and parameters on what convicted felons can and can't do, right? They can't vote. They can't have a firearm. They can't do it. They can be president, but they can't do anything else, right? They can't do all these other things. But my question is, and I think we've been talking about it over and over and over again from a hip hop perspective. Why is there so much trouble going on in hip hop? What's happening within hip hop that there's all these legal issues and
death
and just salaciousness and just issues and legal battles left and right, people going to jail, people getting out of jail, people wanted for murder, people dying. It's like, what's happening within this culture of hip hop and this genre of music that we don't hear about. I can't say that it doesn't happen. We don't hear about in other forms of music, country, uh, pop, rock, but we sure hear a lot about it in hip hop though.
We talked about it before though. There's this expectation that if you make salacious music, you have to live it. If you make gangster music, you have to like show everybody that you're about that life. So it's a race to like see who can like live it the most and get the attention of the people and get people to think that they're real. That's the whole issue. So we got to change culture. I've been saying it for years. I'm gonna keep saying it until we have a change. We got to stop demanding that our rappers live it. Now, again, I said it a million times. Authenticity is important. If you're gonna talk that talk, we want you to be authentic with it, but we don't want you actively doing it right now.
Right.
We want you to turn.
Don't do it.
As a matter of fact, we want you to add to your storytelling that this is not the way to go because it has bad results.
Right.
We want you to make that clear, and you're not doing it now. We love to hear you talk it, and we love to hear that you are authentic with it, that you know what you're talking about, because we don't want to enjoy art that's unauthentic. But besides being authentic, that's where it should stop. If you escape the hood, if you escape the streets, if you escape the gang culture, be thankful for it and make a change in your life. Don't still try to live it.
Yeah, I think that's the issue is that
try to prove it. Shout out to Lil Durk, man, but Lil Durk is like, they say he implicated with another murder now.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
yeah, don't try to live.
Don't try to
this
prove
rap lifestyle. Don't try to prove nothing. Don't try to live nothing. I mean, there's dire consequences. There's dire consequences to.
You don't got to be tough. Let them think you soft if they want to. Who cares?
But then who's going to listen to my music if they think I'm soft? If I don't have, I mean, if I don't have these legal issues, I'm not carrying a weapon. If I'm not putting myself in these situations where people may have a different perspective of who I am, then I'm going against what I stand for as a rapper.
Again, make the music undeniable, man.
What I stand for as a rapper.
Rick Ross was exposed as a corrections officer right in the height of his best music run, Deeper Than Rap. Still his best album. Nobody care. Undeniable.
Justice League.
Yeah, shout out Justice League. Shout out Rook and all those guys. But Gunna took the stand and told on camera. He took the stand, but made his best album ever after that, and is on fire right now. So if your music is undeniable, you don't gotta be like, you know what I mean? You don't gotta be street, It's entertainment, man. And at the end of the day, nobody care. These same fans you're trying to impress, when you die, when you go to jail, they're gonna go to the next rapper.
But you think is because hip hop has been influenced by, which is why we, in hip hop it's gangster, right? You got to be hard. I mean, like from the mob gangster perspective. I mean, that's why most rappers got Tony Montana sitting on their wall, right? Or they talk about him in songs.
I like that. I was gonna buy a Tony Montana. They got the shirts at Walmart, though. Scarface shirts. I was gonna buy one and have
you
my
buy Tony Montana shirt. Say hello to my little friend that we got on the...
No, it's just the DVD picture on there.
Him sitting in a room full of coke.
No, him standing up with the Scarface, the logo. Whatever. Yeah. My point is, I could enjoy it. I'm not gonna try to go out and sniff coke, sell coke, or go meet the plug. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In Cuba. I'm not going, or Colombia.
He said in Cuba. In Cuba. Hey, don't come over here, y'all. I'm telling come over. Cuba and Colombia.
Well, he was Cuban. Tony Montana was Cuban. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
But you ever thought it was odd? Because Al Pacino was Italian and played a Cuban. Nobody ever thought that was kind of weird?
Nah, I mean, they got all types of characters playing different characters from other nationalities.
He was. I never thought about that. He played Michael Corleone.
Michael Corleone.
Italian. Then he played Tony Montana, Cuban.
It's a role.
I'm a Cuban refugee.
It's a role.
From Cuba.
It's a role. And so that's how they see it.
30 times using sanitation.
But see, that's the thing, right?
Not a sanitarium. Sanitation. Manny. I'm sorry.
That's the thing, right? Is you got actors and who play these types of roles, but they're not, we talked about it before. They're not living this life. They don't have to go. I mean, he's Tony Montana, right? So he don't have to go around with a machine gun saying, "Say hello to my little friend every day."
Because the culture doesn't expect that.
We don't.
So why do we expect that out of our own people?
Exactly.
Again,
Just be a great storyteller and just don't live that life.
Well, Rick Ross though, I don't know if Rick Ross was doing that. He probably wasn't, but I believe what he's talking about though. When he spits, I believe what he's saying. You know,
I mean, I believe right now he's in Santorini, Greece, and doing all these things.
Yeah, but I believe he know about the drug guy. I believe he know.
I believe he know about it. I mean, just because you're a correctional officer at a prison, don't mean you don't know about it.
My favorite Rick Ross song is "Rich Off Cocaine." I love that song. My favorite Rick Ross song. And was he selling it? I read his book. His book is a great book. Do I believe everything in the book? No, I just don't, man. But I love Rick Ross though. I'm a huge Rick Ross fan.
The fib.
I love his story. I don't care about none of that stuff. It's like wrestling, man. I used to watch wrestling.
I used to love wrestling.
Sting, Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah, Roddy Piper.
Lex Luger. Come on, man.
Oh man,
like,
come on now.
So,
it's so crazy. I was listening. So I picked up my son the other day from work, and I was listening to on my phone on my playlist. Y'all don't judge me. I have the entire WWE theme song collection.
Oh wow!
Don't judge me, right?
I'm judging you, bro.
And I'm talking about like every Stone Cold, Steve Austin intro, The Rock intro.
See, I stopped
Chris
watching
Jericho.
I stopped watching like.
I stopped watching it though.
Mid to late 90s. So all that The Rock and Chris Jericho and
that's when it was at the height.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I checked out by then, but I did watch that documentary, Mr. McMahon on Netflix.
That was at the height of wrestling.
You watched the documentary?
I have not seen the documentary.
It's pretty good.
I gotta go check it. That was the height of wrestling right there. With Stone Cold and The Rock and Jericho and Batista and that was and Goldberg and Big Show and
that was all past
Kane and Undertaker.
That was past my
D'Lo Brown. Oh yeah, bro. That was Mankind.
I used to watch NWA.
I used to watch NWA.
The National Wrestling Association.
Yeah, me too.
Before it turned to WCW.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the wrestlers from WCW went into NWA, and they got other wrestlers from.
Didn't NWA turn to WCW? I believe
they end up turning into WCW, and then they end up merging all into one.
No, because McMahon
they bought them.
It's all in documentary.
They bought them. Yeah. Oh, I remember they made the announcement. They bought them. It was like bought
because that was his
WWF. They purchased WCW.
That was his competition.
What? It was a competition.
It's a thorn in his side.
And Eric Bischoff was the owner of WCW.
Well, he wasn't necessarily the owner. Ted Turner owned it.
Well, Bischoff
was kind of like the manager. It was I don't think he owned it.
But I thought Eric Bischoff
he ran it. Well, I know Ted Turner owned it. Ted Turner owned it at one point.
Yeah, but I think Eric Bischoff.
I don't know if he owned it.
Was the
he was like the McMahon of WCW.
Yeah, because he's definitely in the Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame, but now he's best known for his role as senior vice president and executive producer of WCW. Yep. So yeah, he was the head guy over at
WCW.
WCW.
Yeah.
And outside of Ted Turner, but yeah.
No, but I think you would enjoy the documentary. That was pretty good.
I'm gonna check it out because I love wrestling.
Yeah.
And I watch
a lot of that stuff I learned because I stopped watching at a certain point. So I would see it in my peripheral, but I wasn't really in it. But the documentary kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the thing, right? It's like, we know they're not really, some stuff they're doing, but.
Yeah, that's the point. I enjoy wrestling the same way I enjoy Rick Ross.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he started talking all that stuff, he's a character.
He's a character.
So
but a lot of these people don't want to be characters. They really want you to know, I'm about this life. And if you try to roll up, I'm really about this life. And it's like, do you really gotta be though?
You inviting mess.
But once again, I think it's the pressure of the people that may be around them that are egging that on, that type of behavior on. And we understand peer pressure can be crazy, but you got to have a mentality that's higher than that to say, hey, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not the type of lifestyle I want to live. I mean, I used to do these type of stuff, and I'm gonna share my experiences and my story, but I don't live that life right now. And I think that's the issue, is that people aren't communicating that they don't live that life today, and it's evident, I guess, is that, it's like driving without a license, but you still drive. It's like your license get revoked because you've been speeding and you got too many tickets, but you're still trying to drive, and then you get pulled over, and the cops are like, license registration, and you're like, and they running like, hey, bro, why are you doing that?
They can take you to jail for that.
They can.
I went to jail for that once. 17 hours, man.
Dang.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
So it's
17. I just came from the gym,
you
and
had dudes looking at you in jail, like,
apparently, over in DeKalb County Prison, they feed you twice a day. They eat 2 meals at once, so it's breakfast, and then they give you lunch and dinner at like 5 o'clock.
2 meals. Oh, okay, 2 meals a day.
It's 3 meals a day. They do it twice though. They give you lunch and dinner at the same time, which is weird. Yeah.
What?
And I did fasted cardio that morning, so I didn't eat and they got me up coming out the gym, and I literally didn't eat till like 5 o'clock. It was crazy. I had to get bail. And by the way, I didn't know because it's a long story, but yeah, that was
sometimes you don't know.
That was crazy. I had tickets in New York because I was moving back from New York to Atlanta. I had tickets up there. I knew about the tickets, but I thought they had different state. It didn't matter. It was just a clean slate. I'm here in Georgia, so that don't count, right?
They're like, you in the U.S.
Little did I know it did count.
Right. Dang. But I got pulled over a couple weeks ago. I'm sure. I'm glad that incident was very smooth. I mean, I'm an older guy. Like, I don't have anything to prove to any police officer in any type of way. So it was like, license registration. Hey, here you go. I'm gonna reach in here to grab this. You cool with that? Yup. Okay, here you go. How you doing today? I'm good. Yeah. That's what's up. Like, I don't have any animosity to what. So I realize I got a family. I'm trying to get home alive. I ain't got time to play. What you need, Mr. Officer? Here you go. And I used to get out of most stuff. I used to get out almost everything.
Well, back to these rappers though, man.
But anyway, that's a different story.
And again, though, we gotta change as a people.
We gotta change the narrative.
The narrative,
it has
man,
to be some way.
I'm not going full D1 saying they can't make the music. That's not,
right.
I wouldn't, because I'll be hypocrite because I enjoy the music.
But I got a Wu-Tang sweat on right now.
But I do think that we gotta change the culture around the music.
Right.
We can't, we gotta let people know, look, we're gonna help you escape that life, but you gotta make a change.
Right.
And if you can't, you're not gonna last.
I mean, if you're out there talking about selling drugs and murder, I mean, you gotta at least balance it with giving, feeding people and giving them turkeys. Right.
Oh, man.
At least give them turkeys. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least I'm giving niggas job when I sing songs. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
But man, now I just thought that was very interesting. It's like, here is something else. Here is something else again that's happening again to another artist again. And it's like,
I hate to see it, but at the same time, some of these jokers need it, man. Like Blueface, sit them down for a little bit. Get your life together, man.
Get your life together,
and come out. Like Gucci, I think jail was the best thing for Gucci, man, because Gucci came out focused, and when he came out, 2017, 2016?
I think so.
And it's been, 7, 8 years?
And he's been
about his business, man.
About his business.
So like, or Boosie, even though Boosie keep getting in trouble recently, but Boosie was flying straight for a while.
I be seeing Boosie drive around here though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, of course. I ain't trying to say where Boosie live, because I don't really know.
Nobody know where you live, so.
Hey, that's right. So he live. So that's right. Except people who've been on the podcast, but he live around here. I be seeing Boosie. I'm like, yeah, that's Boosie. I saw him going into this Food Depot restaurant, not restaurant, store over here. And I saw him going to this fish place the other day, and I was like, because I know it's so crazy because you see him and you start to recognize the vehicle that he drives. Every time I see the vehicle, I'm like, oh, that's Boosie right there.
I did that with a few years ago. I used to DoorDash a few years ago, or Postmates, and it's a famous Atlanta rapper I used to deliver to his house several times. So I learned his cars and all that.
Exactly.
From his post.
So now I see it all the time. I'm like, it ain't like, and that's the thing is, it ain't like we bother him. It ain't like we stop him.
No.
It ain't like we go, oh, it's bullshit. No, I mean, no, we be like, hey, what's up? He be like, what's up? And we just keep it trucking. Anyway.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm Boosie, man. I don't got time for that, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to go to the grocery store, man. Anybody can help me with the grocery store. Send a DM. I need to know where the grocery store is.
He be at the grocery store.
Somebody help me find the grocery store. I need the grocery store now. Let me know where one at.
He know where it's at because he be there.
Because he always needs something. He always needs something. Anybody know where the grocery store is? Send me a DM now. Let me know where the grocery store is.
You know where it is.
I need the grocery store. I'm Boosie, man.
You know where it is because you be going to the grocery store, bro. You don't live that far from the grocery store, bro. because we seen you at the grocery store over here. We know exactly.
But Boosie is inspirational because Boosie, man, like he get to that
100%.
money. He get to that money.
100%.
He get to the bag. He'll do features. He'll do whatever. He get to it.
My man is building. He's trying to build a little community where he's at in his neighborhood where he lives.
Yeah.
Like no matter how you may view what some of the things that he's done, but that's the thing is right. It's yes, and what we're talking about is I don't want to say it's the balance, right? It's not just having full on salaciousness, but it is doing things to show I'm not really living this life. I may talk about the experiences that I've gone through and I've had and the things that I've seen, but I don't live that life today. But what I do today is I do this. And I think that's the thing with Boosie is like, I'm not really trying to live that life because I'm really out here about doing this for me, my kids, my family.
Rappers gotta stop being scared to say that, and fans gotta stop putting pressure on like, oh, he ain't real, he ain't, or Lil Durk ain't slide for Vaughan yet, he ain't slid for Vaughan and all, and it's like,
trust me.
Again, the internet is not a real place. There's a lot of
not a real place.
A lot of losers on the internet
not a real
that
place.
say stupid stuff to stir up stuff.
Do I expect Wu-Tang to still be doing the stuff they did in the very beginning, as far as their lifestyle that they were living? Of course not. Do I enjoy their music? Of course I do. Did Meth and Raekwon and Redman just body the Red Bull freestyle? Of course they did. So they still the dope. One of the
Wu-Tang. Well, yeah. Method Man.
Still dopest rappers, but they ain't living that life.
Method Man bodied that verse on the Snoop Dogg album.
I gotta listen to it.
Hold on, where is it? It's called Skyscrapers.
Man, you know Meth is one of my favorite rappers, y'all. In case y'all don't know.
Hold on, if you don't know. See a Method Man verse on here. Cause ain't no strikes on this platform, right? We don't get no strikes.
I mean, it'll go on you. This will go on YouTube, but it don't matter.
I want to do. Well, you can edit this part out, maybe. I don't know.
I can, but anyway, it don't matter.
Here goes Method Man. So yeah, that was
bruh.
I know that's your boy, so I thought I would.
Meth is the man, bro.
That's right. A Method Man verse.
Yeah.
Because again, I did want to mention about the Snoop Dogg album. Every time these older rappers drop something, I want to highlight it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's gonna be a movement where it's like, just like in life, if you stay in shape, if you stay, you know, you can live a longer life and do things longer. And if you stay in shape lyrically and musically, you can keep going, man.
You can keep going.
And you can get started. Maybe
I'm about to get started
now. So
I'm about to get started. Watch.
So Method Man is still sharp though.
I'm dropping albums next year. Y'all watch. I'm about to drop albums next year. I don't know on what though, but oh man. B, once again, man, it's a pleasure, brother. We always come in here and have interesting conversations about stuff.
Always.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all check it out. The Indie Unplugged.
Yes, sir.
We Create Music TV.
Yes, sir.
Go over to the platform, WeCreateMusic.tv. Join the community. You know what I'm saying? 2025 is going to be crazy for the things that we're about to do in 2025. Some of it's going to be on YouTube. Some of it's not. Some of it's going to be members only content over at the platform. Make sure y'all go. We got some things that's going to cook up in 2025, bro.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless. Peace out.
Peace.